Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a problem from your worksheets that I'm accessing a phone here. That it's all seemingly all worked out. All right, this is about American football. Has anybody seen American football?
Yeah.
Has anybody not seen an American football game? Amir, you've never seen an American football game? Really? No kidding. I have two people in here who've never seen an American football game. You've seen one?
Yeah. I can show them one right now.
You play football?
I play. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. What position?
Safety.
He's a German playing American football. I love it. I love it. I love
Tight
it.
end and safety.
Tight end and safety. Excellent. Excellent. What else? There's a joke there somewhere, a German playing American football, but I won't say it. I won't offend. There's a joke there. There's a line there somewhere. But anyway, yes. And he doesn't know. Where are you from?
India.
Yes, thank you. That's almost like a continent. But can you give me a city? He says India, yeah.
New Delhi.
Near Delhi? New Delhi?
New Delhi, yeah.
New Delhi, not near Delhi.
Oh.
New Delhi. Is there an old Delhi?
There actually is an old Delhi.
There is. It says Old Delhi.
Yes, it actually says Old Delhi. It's like the ghetto part.
It's a ghetto.
Yeah. And the new
I
Delhi.
didn't say that. That's not my word. People from Old Delhi, forgive me. That's not me. That's somebody from New Delhi saying that. So take it up with him. I'll tell you his name. His name is. No, I won't. All right. So it's a ghetto. Sorry.
But the New Delhi area is like the developed.
It's developed. There's no ghetto there.
No.
Yeah,
It's
just
for the rich people.
for rich people. And you live in
New Delhi.
New Delhi. He's rich. He's just kind of
No,
telling you that
I-
indirectly. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. I think I'm starting a war on the subcontinent of Asia.
Okay.
Yes. Anybody else? Amir, you've never seen American football? Really?
Well, I don't watch American football.
Why would I want to watch American football? Interesting. I find it rather uninteresting, actually. I'm an American, and I don't particularly care for it. I like baseball. You can read a book. During baseball, you can read a book. It's like cricket.
So
Cricket is
boring.
it's like you can just kind of like go to sleep, take a nap, go do shopping, come in, cook dinner, go back, watch the game, and you haven't missed anything really, right? And Kareem, you've seen American football?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. And Rowdy, you've seen American football? You have? Excellent, excellent. Okay, so let's do this problem.
Where is it?
All right? I have no idea how to get this back on. What do I hit?
On the side.
Side?
Because there's a password.
And there's a password? Can you do the password? Okay, Kareem's helping me. He has glasses on today, so he looks very intelligent. Excellent.
Oh, that's what's so different about him.
Doesn't he look different? Doesn't he look intelligent?
I was staring at him. I was like,
You almost want to call him Mr. Kareem, you know what I mean? He has that. Yeah, he does. I like that. The baseball cap on backwards and the glasses. I like the look. It's very good. It's very good. You look like somebody who's intelligent from the ghetto. I'm kidding. I didn't say that out loud, did I? No.
because I was staring at you and I was like, what's so different?
All right.
All the likes can eat.
All right, it says Butch.
So,
The guy's name is Butch. And he is 72 kilograms. Okay? Butch
It's like 160
is 72 kilograms. Okay? And he's the quarterback of the Belmont High School football team. And he collides with, is that really the guy's name? His name is Trask. Not quite sure where Trask is from. Yeah, exactly. All right, he's a stationary left tackle and is brought to a stop with an acceleration of negative 20 meters per second squared. Okay, so the mass is 72 kilograms. The acceleration is negative 20 meters per second squared. Okay, and it says, what force does Trask exert on Butch? And then what force does Butch exert on Trask? Okay? Yes? You get it? So the first question is, what force does Trask exert on Butch? So what would the values be? What is the equation for the force? What is the equation for the
Mass into
force?
acceleration.
What is it?
Mass into acceleration, where F equals
F
equal to,
equals ma.
yeah,
So F is going to equal what?
72 multiplied by
72, and that's kilograms. What my philosophy with doing these problems is make sure that instead of doing dimensional analysis, or what do we call it? Unit label conversion. Dimensional analysis that they teach in chemistry, in my mind, is completely false. What they teach in chemistry is unit label conversions. Dimensional analysis is actually this. You want to analyze the dimensions before you ever do any work and make sure that everything is correct. And if they're not correct, then you have to do a unit label conversion. So dimensional analysis is, you know that force, you know that force is in newtons. Okay? Force is in newtons. And newtons is kilogram meters per second squared. Okay, so N is kilogram times meters per second squared. Kilogram meters per second squared. So what you want to do before you do any problem in physics is you analyze the dimensions. Now, so in other words, acceleration has to be meters per second squared. That's standard. Right? The standard unit of length is meter. The standard unit of time is seconds. So meters per second squared is correct. Mass has to be in kilograms. Why? Because kilograms is the standard unit, the SI unit. So now everything is correct. So the answer will be in newtons. So before you start these problems, you have to analyze the dimensions to make sure that everything is fine. And then when you're doing the calculation, on scratch paper, leave the dimensions out of it and just do the numbers. And then you know that your answer is going to be correct, and you can simply tack on the correct unit labels, correct? Okay? So this is going to be times 20. That's a negative 20. So what's that going to equal? What's that going to equal? Negative
1440.
1440 newtons. Now, consider what that is. That is what? Here, get this on again, please. What's that value? What are they asking for, and what's that value? What are they asking for, and what's that value? I'm reading right off the answer sheet. So when you see this, you have to be able to make sense of it. Why is it a negative value? Well, who's the quarterback?
Well, the guy's running, but
Butch is the quarterback, correct? Just put them there. Thanks very much. Butch is the quarterback, correct? And he's the one that stopped, right? But didn't Butch decelerate? Didn't Butch decelerate?
yeah.
Okay, yes? So Butch decelerated. So what does that mean? What does that mean relative to the negative sign? Well, I'm reading it right off the thing. Right here, you're going to read it. It says, the negative sign in the answer implies that the direction of the force is opposite that of Butch's original direction of motion. Correct? So Butch is going in a positive direction. Correct? Butch is going in a positive direction. So what is going to be the amount of, then it says, what is going to be the amount that is exerted on Butch? And then the second part of the question is, what force does Butch exert on Trask? What is this force here? What is that force there?
He pushed.
Isn't that the force that Trask is exerting on Butch? Because in the negative direction?
Yeah.
Yes? So this is the force that's stopping Butch. Now, sounds very simple, F equals ma, but in terms of the sign, which is going to be as important as the magnitude, figuring out the signs and who's applying which force is going to be a very difficult part of the problem. Okay? So then it says, well, it says right here, it says Newton's third law states that for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction. Therefore, if Trask exerts a force of 1440 on Butch, Butch is going to exert a force of 1440 on Trask. Correct?
Then how does he move?
So the answer to A, what force stops Butch? What force is Trask exerting on Butch to stop him? That's going to be negative 1440. But then it says, well, what force is exerted on Trask by Butch? And the answer is positive 1440. Yes? The fact that Butch is stopped is which law of motion? Inertia. Yes? That a body in motion will stay in motion unless a force is exerted, an unbalanced force is exerted, correct? It's going to stop the motion. He's changing he's decelerating, or his acceleration is negative. Newton's first law. Newton's second law is, well, what's the force? Well, what is it? How do you calculate it? F equals ma, that's Newton's second law. And the fact that Trask is exerting that force and Butch is exerting a positive 1440 are essentially the demonstration of those three laws. You get it? So don't make the fatal error in this. When you're doing any problem in Newton's laws, the sign and interpreting the answer is as important as calculating the answer. The calculation may be very simple, but interpreting it may be very difficult. You do all the calculation and you put plus instead of negative, the whole thing's wrong. You don't get partial credit because you don't have a sign like you do in algebra. How many people do that in algebra? You get partial credit, right? That's like saying, well, the answer is 23, but you put 29. I'm going to give you partial credit because you got the 2 right, but not the 3. Does that make any sense to you? No. The sign is very important. If that sign is wrong, then you're off by 2,880. Right? What's the difference between negative 1440 and positive 1440? 2,880. So you're off by a lot. I don't accept that. In physics, if you drop the sign, it's all wrong. Yes? Okay. End of, what is it? What are we doing anyway? We're doing, what shall we call this?
Problem solving 4.1.
What do we call this? Shall we just name it what it is exactly? All right, we'll name it Problem Solving 4.1 Example,
Football.
whatever it is. I'll label it like that. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. We're off.